Oh, he's going to stand in the water, perhaps, I don't know. But first to play is Matsuyama. This is one of these horrible length bunker shots where you've got to hit it clean. You can't splash it out and get the distance. These are awkward. You've got to get these just right. You can easily get them a little skinny or fat and come up 20 feet short. He's so precise with the strike here. You wouldn't want that again. He's sort of half splashed it.
Well, he had a great deal of good fortune, Jason Day. He must have thought he was in the water. Now he cannot ground his club. He's going to get a lot of height off that bank. And he's done well. He must not have been able to believe his luck when he came down there.
Stroud launching one down the 15th is quite a hard dog leg from right to left. Two bunkers down the right and soft bounce. Okay, quite a long way back. He is reachable in two if you get two good ones away.
Yes, the short par 4, 14th, followed by the par 5s, where you've got to make hay. Fowler in with his pitch shot. This needs a bit of spin on it. Oh, but there again, so many of these greens are like upturned saucers and they repel all invaders.
Most unlike him, he's normally mustard with his wedges. Plays a little uphill, maybe just slightly miscalculating. Now let's talk about this 16th, 17th and 18th on this course. It's called the Green Mile. 16th, a very difficult par 4. 17, an awkward par 3. And 18 is a brute of a par 4, particularly where the flag is.
Kevin Kisner's virtually a local boy, lives in Aiken in South Carolina, a couple of hours drive away. Big support out here as we watch Fowler chipping back. Oh, delightful touch. That's more like it. What was it Butch Harmon was saying to you, Ken? He's got to learn how to win, learn how to close.
Knows how to close out, that's what he said at the US Open, where Ricky had a great chance to win Erin Hills. Now this is a testy putt up over a sort of, yeah, that gives you a good angle. You see it's uphill over a bank. It's going to turn to the left. Eagle chance. So difficult to get this just right. Up it goes down the other side. Oh, it's running out quite nicely. That's a superb putt. Now sit down, sit down.
There haven't been many people in the field who've read the greens better than Kevin Kisner. He's played numerous times round here.
Ah, nice to see Paul Casey. We haven't seen much of him today. He's at the 15th, it's third. That would take him to 4 under. 6 in the Masters, 11th at the Open Championship. He's having a super season. There's been a good, I wouldn't say rowdy, but cheery crowd all week. Very colourful.
Very, yes, and very stalwart yesterday through the weather delays. It's a real sports-mad city, Charlotte. This course has been a regular PGA Tour stop for a number of years, so they're accustomed to having the finest golfers in town, and they do come out to show their support.
Quickly back to the 15th, and Chris Stroud.
Get up there! Get up there!
They're saying get up there. I don't think he's confident he's going to make it. That shot tracker sometimes doesn't get it quite right, can be a bit deceiving.
Now, can Hideki find a putt? No, low. He struggled with his long game today, and sometimes you find that starts to work its way through the bag. He had only 23 putts yesterday, but was hitting the irons in so close he didn't hold anything over 12 feet. Today's been a little bit of a different story.
The pressure of being the first male golfer to win a major golf tournament. This is an easier angle to putt from. It's a bit more up the hill. It should move a bit from right to left, and what a three this would be. Just watch how still he keeps. You know, nothing except what needs to move does move. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Any movement down below with your legs or your tummy causes a miss. That was a terrific, terrific three. 6, 4, 3, 3 under.
Ricky tapping home. No bogey free cards today.
Kisner for his birdie, he's aiming little left. Sweetly hole. That was a beautifully played hole. Didn't take any risk. A super tee shot. Good lag putt. 9 under. Just 4 bogeys all week. That's been the key to his success. Driven nicely. You can look at the Bermuda rough. See how the shoes just sink in. It's like a thick, deep, tiled carpet.
A lot of support, as we were saying, for Kisner out here. He said all his pals were coming up for the weekend.
Perfect spot here, Maureen. Louis can certainly reach.
Yes, he's got it round the corner. Looking straight up at the green. Flag quite well on, so it's going to receive a wood shot very nicely. Do you remember when he won the Open in 2010 at St Andrews? His focus point was the little red dot on his glove. It's a bit like Jason Day and his Johnny Wilkinson focus.
Yes, yeah. Little keys. Kisner by 1 from Stroud. Matsuyama 6 under. Ricky Fowler 5 under. Justin Thomas 5 under. And Ryan Moore fidgeting around. Got it nice, close at 17, and makes the most of it. You've got to take a gamble to get close to the flag. Pin just 6 on over the water at the front and about 8 to the left.
Now, Shane Lowry's usually a magician around the greens, but this is awkward. A wee stabby one up the hill. That's done very well indeed.
.66 yesterday for Ryan Fox. New Zealand, a massive hitter, is at the 16th. Everybody from that side has left it short. Some are far more than that. It must go up, and then just as you get to the cup, it goes down the other side, so players a little bit cautionary. Currently 1 under, level par. His dad was an All Black.
That's right, yes. I think he did well not to choose rugby. A bit hard to follow that.
He's got a good build over broad shoulders, big lad. PGA points. Got a little bit of steerage from his playing partner. It's been a bit sort of golfing Jenga, isn't it? You put a brick on the top and one falls out the bottom. It's not been a day where anybody's ran away with it or had a day without mistakes.
Well, this hole owes him something. He'll feel he was going like a train yesterday until he doubled this and then doubled 17. So trying to exact a little bit of revenge. He lost here in 2012 in a playoff to Ricky Fowler when Ricky won his first PGA Tour Championship, so he'll have good vibes around this place. Kisner, this boomerang of a right to left par 5. Sending it out to the apex of the hole. Might be out of his reach. 575 yards is a long way.
Chris Stroud couldn't reach with that slightly necky tee shot. This is his third to the par 5. And a beaut. Under the cup as well, putting up the hill, so important to get the right angles to putt from. That, if he did it that much past the cup, it would have been a very quick putt.
Now Jason Day. You mightn't like the feel of this tee shot. He's lost a lot of them to the left.
Oh, finally.
Oh, finally, he says. And he started off, his ball striking in the first half dozen holes was supreme. So this is what happens with the gremlins of golf.
Hideki's had a few blocks and the odd hook as well, so this is not it's a generous fairway, but water left, bunkers right. It's par 5, you know, if you get a good one away you can reach. Ideal, tight to left, as long as you're far enough, shortens the hole up.
Oosthuizen. Come on, tracking well, good attempt. No eagle this time. But he'll tap that in for a bird to go to 5 under.
And he hasn't really holed much. He's had a few, well, I suppose 3 putts from inside 6 feet that he's missed, and a few good birdie opportunities. Birdied the 7th, the par 5, and the 15th.
Now Dillette's been on a run like nobody else. This for par. Oh, that's a wonderful putt for Dillette. He finished eagle, eagle, birdie, par, par to be home in 32 for 68. Moves himself up into red figures, 2 under. And he deserves a little montage all to himself.
13th, the par 3. Pin tucked behind the bunker. He's going straight out. There's 4 yards over the bunker till you get the cup. And look at that. Boom! Right down the flag. Nearly a 1. Oh! The simplest of 2s. Then he moved to the 14th.
This is his tee shot on 14. Having a rip at the green. Landing that so well up, and look at this. This looked like it was going in straight over the hole, but he tops that one in.
Way, way back. John Hudson managed 2 holes in one in a row. One was a par 3 and a par 4. Then at the 15th, 2 glorious shots to the par 5, and he banged it into the back of the cup. So he goes 2 birdie, 2 eagle, 3 eagle.
And then on 16, one of the most treacherous holes on the golf course. On into big long putt. Has he read it correctly? The ball's got eyes. In she goes for a birdie. No wonder the putter's held aloft.
Yeah, it was one of those days. 68 for him. Hearty congratulations. 2 under par. Second best round of the day. Shane Lowry, 74 of him. He made his par at the last. Check up on the scorecard. 36-32. There's that run. 13, 14, 15, 16. None to tell the grandchildren about.
Now Chris Stroud. It's a rather ungainly looking putting action, but so far it's been working well. He just eases that one through the break. A wee chance missed there of picking up another shot. Now you've got to dig in for this brutal final 3 holes.
Ricky's bailed out right at the 16th. And you can see what faces him. Pin on the left side of the green, so it's manageable. But anything drifting left gets kicked towards the water and can trickle down the bank. Before we see that, we go to the 15th.
Kisner's second. Would be 2 huge beats for him to get up here. Oh, he's done it. Well, the adrenaline must be really roaring through his veins. He's not the longest of hitters, but he is calmness personified.
I think he's decided discretion is the better path of valor. Just pitch it down the slope, let it run on. He's done it well. Clever little shot. That would have been easy to try and fly all the way, catch a bit of a fly, so he just sort of chased one down.
He was saying earlier, Ken, that he was going to play a very conservative game plan. So he's choosing his moments to attack, and that was very wise.
Looking down from the air at the tee shots at the 15th. Looks like Hideki's first to play, or out of the last 2 players to play. Now it's a big iron. He's lucky he's got a flattish lie. 251 yards up the hill. Come out of another one. There's a little collection area in front right, and he's in it. Of course, it's been a struggle because he's had the hooks and the pushes, but he's staying in there.
Grayson Murray, who started so well on Thursday, managing to keep himself up at the top end of the leaderboard. Turn, and in she drops for Grayson Murray. What a wonderful 2. 4 under.
A huge tee shot, an absolute perfect spot for Jason Day. He has the power. Brutal clubhead speed. Sounded nice. Oh, that was a magnificent iron, magnificent iron. So crisply struck, flushed.
There's a look at the leaderboard. Kevin Kisner has been up there since Thursday when he shot an opening round of 67. He stayed there with a second round of 67, and nobody has headed him today.
Quirky swing of Ryan Moore, second to the 18th after a nice tee shot. He looks a bit uncomfortable. Massive tee shot, just flicking it in there. Oh, that's going to go back to him. It's 2 up a little bluff, and if you drift at all left, you get dragged into the very thick, clumpy Bermuda grass.
Benan. High flying floater. Has he got the line and the distance? He has. Not flirting with the water at all.
Paul Casey playing with Ricky Fowler and Justin Thomas. His third shot. Perfect lie, and a low gripper or a floater, going for the low dragging one. I hope it's dragging. Oh, it's going to run away a little. Nicely played, really well played. We're talking a little bit about the Bermuda grass rough, and Rish has been discussing it with Justin Rose.
Well, one of the big talking points at Quail Hollow this week has been the Bermuda grass that is in use at the course. So who better to talk about it than one of the great players in the world, Justin Rose. So Justin, if you could tell us why players find it a bit more difficult to deal with this surface.
Yeah, well, obviously it's certainly, you know, growing up in England, we don't experience this grass whatsoever. It's normally, you know, it grows and thrives in very hot climates. So sometimes in Florida in the winter, they'll overseed with the ryegrass, but in the summertime, they use the Bermuda. It's very hardy. But it also grows in a very, I would say, very unpredictable way, kind of in a patchy type of way. So, you know, you're always having to try and guess your lie, gauge your lie. And I find that often the ball comes out it's very unpredictable to chip out of. So I've just thrown 2 balls here into the rough. This ball here, so obviously when I go to try and address the ball, I've almost like got a big cushion of grass behind the ball. So if you imagine when this club is coming into the ball, you see how that grass is going to get between me and the club, get between the ball and the club. So I'm going to be forced to play this like a bunker shot and take out all of that. If you keep the camera there, play this one like a bunker shot. So I've hit that. I haven't really made contact with the ball. I didn't get that click on my club face. So it's almost like the cushion of the grass has sent the ball out. So it takes a lot of commitment, especially when you're having such a short, you're almost like it's a controlled duff shot is what it is.
Right.
So there's not a ton of control on it, a bit of guesswork.
I was going to say taking out the accuracy of your normal short game, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And then obviously when you're pitching onto these incredibly quick surfaces and you get it slightly wrong and you do guess that you're not going to catch ball and then you do catch a bit of ball, obviously, you know, it's easy to chip it 20 foot past. This lie looks equally as bad, but actually when I set my club in here, I kind of feel that I'm going to get a lot more ball than that previous. So obviously when I'm swinging the club in here, I feel like by the time I get to impact, I might catch the back of that ball. So those are the situations you're facing out on the golf course. You're trying to read the lie, guess how it's going to come out.
Okay.
One last thing we can point out, I forgot the time.
Yes.
So if you're playing at home or if you ever face this surface and you kind of want to try and, I always try to see the changing grain with color. Obviously down grain, it looks a lot shinier, and into the grain, it looks a lot darker and a lot greener. But the other way to cheat and figure it out, if you walk up to the cup, you can see how much more frayed this edge of the hole is here, versus this has got still nice clean cut. This is all a bit frayed, which tells me that the grain is growing in this direction here. So,
Goodness.
obviously, you know, this would be testing the surface. You're not allowed to do this.
Yes.
But for this purpose, you know, you can kind of see again how much that stands up and then comb it back down. So the grain is running in that direction, which is going with the slope for the most part.
Well, Justin, this has been revealing. I think Ken on the course might be a thing of the past very soon.
Well,
Rose on the range, I think.
Well, it's been Rose in the rough this week too much, I'm afraid. But yeah, Rose on the range. I'll take that one.
We'll go with Rose on the range.
To feel threatened by that.
Very interesting. It was a great demonstration of just how tricky this Bermuda rough and grass is. And you can see the patches around the cup there, how it's dark and light, and the light is going away from us. So this is a little up the hill and then down the other side from this point, just a bit further. Another one coming up short. Crunch putt, I think, coming there for.
I think so. No, it was very interesting stuff from Justin Rose, but there aren't too many courses in the United Kingdom where we can rush out and practice that.
There's no Bermuda. It's too cold for Bermuda grass in Britain. Birdie chance for Justin Thomas. Isn't that amazing? Every single person from the right of the cup has left it short.
Hideki. Quite severely uphill here. Two-tier green, flag right up in the back.
Many might chip this one.
Big backswing there. Up over the crest of the hill. It should get a little help on now, but he's left himself a tester. It's very draining, this golf course, isn't it?
Oh, it's unrelenting. You know, you can hit good shots and you still don't get a good result. Now this, I think, is a crunch putt for Ricky. Just getting a bit of momentum. Just what you're saying, Maureen. Get a little bit back and it just steals it from you straight away.
And he still made the right play with his second, I feel, though. He didn't gamble.
The leader 9 under par, but experience says, and an observer like myself, you never know. At the end of the day, 7 under par might win this. If there's a win tomorrow, 6 under might win it. This week he sold 13% from this range, which is pretty darn good, I would say. Eagle chance, Mr. Spread eagle the field. He's looking nice. Oh, super effort.
I think out of all the players, he's put the least pressure on himself with the second putts. He seems to have an unerring eye for the pace of the greens.
Just looking into the hole there to see where it's broken down. Just what Justin Rose is saying. Actually, if you ever get another close-up of the hole, you can actually see where it's broken down. From this angle, it's on the right side of the cup. Hello, maybe it's so broken down. It's the rules official to have a look at it. Looking back to the tee shots at the 16th.
Well, Stroud has held himself together so well.
He's a long way back.
He's got a peculiar little hitch in the backswing, but he delivers the club face so well through the ball. It's a mud ball, he says.
Stop.
And it will stop. And that's a wonderful shot.
Mud on there. Yep.
Not surprised there's a little bit of mud on the ball. We've heard a few players say that. They suffered torrential rain yesterday, but the course has withstood everything so well. As we go to Jason Day.
Eagle chance, you can see a little tuft at the back of the hole. Not quite high enough. A little tuft where the hole's broken down. So the grain for him was right there. He's having a look at it too. As a goalkeeper. There it is, look. Just the edge of the cup, someone's tapped it, perhaps taking the flag out. Maybe a pitch mark.
The players aren't allowed to repair that.
Not unless it's a pitch mark. It obviously wasn't, otherwise I think they would have done. Got rid of Peter Shilton. Very good birdie. 2 terrific shots to find the green. Lovely drive, superb iron. That's a good comeback.
Justin Thomas trying to send one into this front left hole location. Just needs to be a little bit careful. That is fine. Hideki. This for birdie. And pulled it. Oh, that was pulled straight off the blade there for the Japanese player. So he's made nothing out of these last 2 holes. Jason Day's had 2 birdies. Kisner's had 1 so far, yet to finish off.
Just one or two too many loose shots, as Kisner has this to move into double figures under par. As he moves to the 16th tee and the start of the green mile to finish. What a neat card. He really has hardly put a foot wrong. Two errant tee shots found the rough, but certainly on the front line, played beautifully. Two-time winner on the PGA Tour.
Ricky. Just a nice solid 8-iron. Perfect distance for him, doesn't need to take anything off it or stand on it. Goodness me. Well, the ripples tell the story. That was a real mental error there by Ricky Fowler. Just must think that he didn't quite catch it the way he wanted to.
Looking up, maybe the wind just did something he didn't expect. Quickly back to Louis. Louis Oosthuizen. Sit. Oh, he's played some wonderful golf today, Louis Oosthuizen. Really has a lot of good shots. Been brave when he can.
Kisner. He'll be just trying to keep it on the left of that bunker. Turned it over a fraction. Well, it'll depend on the lie. Might not be too bad there. Nervous stretch of holes coming up for him now.
See up a little bit on the 16th, the right bunker is carryable for these two big hitters, Matsuyama and Day, so they'll take a different line. You can just see the little glimpse of the sand. TV tower down there is the kind of line if you're brave. .516-yard par 4. 291 they reckon to clear the trap. Bumped into one of those rather lovely trees until you get behind one. Well, Matsuyama must be thinking, how do I find the fairway? Because he's had hooks, he's had cuts, he's had a few pulls.
But sticking with the driver. Found the fairway, and that's the first thing that counts. But he always plays on a very even keel. He doesn't usually look quite so disconsolate, but he never gets too excited or too down. He has high expectations of himself, tries to keep it all in check.
Quite a reasonable angle to putt at this cut from, generally up the slope. He's given it a dart. Oh! I think he knows if it missed, it was going to go 6-7 feet by, so it was okay. Oh, stop. Oh, you beauty. Oh, crikey.
Well, Louis was unlucky not to finish closer than this. Glorious shot in. That one really pinged off the putter blade. Oh, gosh. Just as Rory McIlroy was saying in his interview with Rishi, you just have to keep the frustrations at bay. If you allow them to take over, the golf will deteriorate. Have a look at Francesco Molinari. Birdie would certainly brighten his day. He had a woeful start to his round. Well, he'll tuck a 4 away there and remain at 2 under, but now back live.
Oh. After an iron shot, when it was landing on the green, you thought, I'm going to have a 6-footer for a birdie. Ends up dropping a stroke.
Well, back in the drop zone on 17. Come back. Sometimes in practice rounds you see players practicing out of drop zones. Most of them don't, but the odd one does. I don't know if that's good preparation or being negative.
It's, I usually walk past and pretend it didn't exist. On a hole like this, 17 gets your attention. Well, Chris Stroud is just tiptoeing his way along. He's ranked 203 in the world, age 35, a recent winner. Had a good career. He's raked in a load of cash, but not a prolific winner, so he's in unknown territory here, but he's hanging in magnificently. That win last week gave him some real confidence.
Yes, and he had 5 holes to play this morning to finish off his second round because he was last man out in round 2. So he's had a very long day. Started at 7:30. The others had a bit more snooze time than that.
.225 yards left. Coming out of the rough. This is fraught with dangers. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there, because got a bit of a fly, dragged it left. If it had landed on the green, I think it'd have gone over the back of it. It was going like an express train. So pressure getting to him, or just an errant shot? Bermuda, the ball sits up and you think, I can get a club on it. I think I can. He's got the same problem as Ricky here.
Yes, this is a scary shot. He's had a few lefties already throughout the back 9, so everything about this indicates a ball that will move from right to left.
I think he's having a go at it.
Well, it was brave, and the bravery was rewarded. That's an excellent shot there from Jason Day. And that's the ball of Kevin Kisner straight into the water. This green was moved 80 yards to the left in the renovations just to bring that water more into play.
Matsuyama next to play. Pin just up a little ridge in the green, so awkward to get at. If we pitch it by the flag, it tends to skip over. Lovely tee shot. How brave does he dare to be? He was trying to be brave, but wasn't. So I wonder if they'll leave it short from there, those two fellas. But Kisner's reopened the gate. He was starting to tiptoe away from the field.
Now another big putt for Fowler. Dumped his tee shot in the water, dropped in the drop zone. Go on, turn, turn. Oh, goodness, that was such a good effort. Such a good effort, but it's going to be a double bogey. Taps that in, and Ricky goes back to 2 under. 8 shots back of Kisner at the moment, but he won't know that Kisner's ball is wet.
This was moments ago, Justin Thomas for his 2 at the 17th. Same putt as Rickett, dives to the right. To the slope from left to right. The grain the same way.
Now Grayson Murray. Oh, unlucky, just a little bit pacey. But it's been a fine performance by the 23-year-old. Had his first win 2 or 3 weeks ago on the PGA Tour event, played opposite the Open Championship. So he's got this for a 69. Well done. And he finishes 3 under for the 3 rounds.
He's got a head scratcher. He's just run into this very thick Bermuda. Saved it going in the water, but that's terrific. That really is terrific. It was a large element of hit and hope. Played it off the back foot, hooded the club, and just nudged it forward.
Now this is the group of Ben Ann, D.A. Points and Ryan Fox on 18. Ben Ann dropped one at the last, so he's back to +1. This for birdie. Tidy things up for him. Well, it's a good try.
Only 2 birdies on the 18th today. Averaging 4.56, the hardest hole on the course by quite a bit. So par, a good result. You can almost see it's like he's done 5 sets of tennis against Federer, who's running around. Thank goodness it's all over.
Yes, I just wonder if those extra 5 holes Chris Stroud has played will take their toll in the next 30 minutes or so while he's finishing off.
Lateral water hazard, and Kisner's dropped out. Playing his 4th. Still on the lower tier. Not the easiest of 2 putts from there.
Well, the Green Mile, which is the name for these last 3 holes, didn't gain its ferocious reputation for no reason. Stroud now on 17.
Pin high right is the play. 177 yards to get the flag. There's a little downhill. That's it.
Oh, that's that upturned saucer syndrome again, Ken.
And it looks straightforward, but you've got a bank to come up, and then when you hit the green, it's running away from you quite fast.
18th tee. Justin Thomas. Great swing. Coached by his father, Mike, never had any other coach. Won 3 tournaments very early on in the season, then went understandably a little bit off the boil.
Louis struck such a lot of good irons today. Maybe hit it a little heavy. No, that's exactly where you're aiming. Just a little 3/4 shot, pin high right. But if you want to rush down to the betting shop, now's your time, because I bet he leaves this short.
Yes, but will he get down in 2?
Well, he might surprise us and nudge it in. But everyone's been caught so far from this range. Matsuyama for his birdie, but be happy with 2 putts.
it was a great effort. A really great, one of the best efforts we've seen, actually.
He's shown great character today because he doesn't quite know where the ball's going, but he's sticking in there very well. Matsuyama, tomorrow's another day. What do you think Jason's learned? You can kind of see the slope from here. It's a bit easier. It's graying into you up the slope, then the shiny bit, the grass grows the other way. I think more when they're just frightened to give it a dart and you knock it 7 feet by. Well,
you have so many putts that are downhill, down grain, and eventually it makes you extremely defensive. And it's quite difficult to have that switch in your brain that makes you give it a little bit extra to get up the hill. Very orthodox grip. Strikes the putt so well. Oh, and straight into the hole. Well, that's a bonus, and he knows it. That's his third consecutive birdie. Lovely run there from Jason Day. 3-4-3. 5 under. Wow.
That was a bit special. He looks like a real athlete, doesn't he? Strong, strong looking man. Colin, his caddy and coach.
Stroud. Tricky one, this. Different lengths of grass to come up and over. He's asking it to settle, settle, settle. The problem is you've got to get it up the slope first.
Kisner for his bogey. Oh, they're the same as Chris Stroud, going like an express train, horseshoed out. Eight under. Chris Stroud now 8 under. Hideki Matsuyama 6 under. Jason Day 5 under. Thomas also at 5 under. It was going fast. If it had hit dead centre, it may have just stuck, but not quite dead centre.
Hideki. That was a good 2-putt. So he remains at 6 under. 2 shots back. Out of these leaders, Chris Stroud at 2 under for today is having one of the best days. Justin Thomas also 2 under for today.
Lou Stazen. Ticklish one down the slope. It's trying. Is it? It's accelerating. Oh, it's getting quicker and quicker as it went down the hill. Louis moves to 5 under. Quietly spoken, likeable South African.
Come on, Kirsten, keep it up, baby. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Come on, Kirsten.
They've been out here a long way more than they started 2 o'clock local time.
Yes, and all the local support there, coaching Kevin Kisner as he goes to the tee. They all want to get in the action.
That double bogey for Kisner drops him back to 8 under par. It's now a 2-way tie for the lead. The 2 Americans, Stroud and Kisner, with a 2-shot lead over Matsuyama. A little further down, Graham Delatte, that incredible run in the 4 holes of his back 9 where he went birdie, eagle, eagle, birdie. 3 under par today, and he's moved right up to 2 under par. A little further down, the best rounds of the day, a 67 for JB Holmes and Satoshi Kodaira. They're both in the clubhouse at 1 over par, alongside Chris Wood. A little further down, a shot back, US Open champion Brooks Koepka. And Jordan Smith making his major debut, the young Englishman from Bath, 2 over par, a 70 today, and he's having a very good first taste of major golf. Jordan Spieth, he was the one everybody was talking about coming into this week. He won't be making history here, though. He's 3 over par, and John Ram was right up there earlier on today, but he dropped back 3 over par for the championship as well. The pre-tournament favourite Rory McIlroy alongside world #1 Dustin Johnson on 4 over. They were both 2 under for their rounds today. And Steve Stricker also there on 4 over par. He's made the cut at every major this season. Shane Lowry had a great run yesterday and then a little bit of a disaster on the 17th. He's not had the greatest days again today. 3 over for his round, 4 over for the championship. A shot ahead of Tommy Fleetwood, who's alongside Alec Noren, who won at Wentworth earlier this season. And there's Lee Westwood, 4 over today, 7 over for the championship. But let's get back to the 17th and Chris Stroud.
Can he make his par? A little unlucky there, I have to say. I thought it would turn. So Kevin Kisner, despite taking a double bogey at the 16th, still now leads by 1.
Justin Thomas into 18. And that's a fine shot, hole high.
Hardly a puff of wind. Jason Day fresh off 3 birdies.
What is that? Golly.
It looks so innocuous it running down there. You think that's just as simple as little chips or putts up. Very difficult to judge, and he knows it.
Wonderful view there of the 17th. Water just like glass at the moment. Flag there just tucked in, protected by the bunker right, water front and left.
It's playing 177 yards today. I think that was an A-iron for most of the players. Well, he's setting up as if he's trying to cut this into a left pin. I think fractionally open. Must be in the fringe. I think we'd see a ripple if it was in the water, unless it went in the sand.
No, we don't see any ripples.
I think it must be in the sand. We didn't hear a bounce or anything. Now, a leader who's been very reliable. If we hit it just over the left edge of the bunker, if you come up short, you find the bunker, and if you land on that line anywhere, it's perfect.
Just tiptoed over that. You've got to think he must have pulled that a little bit, Ken. I don't think he was taking dead aim there.
My goodness. Just watch this lovely swing of Louis Oosthuizen's. Got his strapping on his right forearm.
That's pretty wide. Justin Thomas's putt on its way. Edging closer. Very fast there, just past the hole on this green. Two under for today's round, 5 under total. Very, very steady play indeed.
Little cutty one, just moving it away from the stream down the left. Not the longest, but He's found the short grass.
A little tentative there. What did it do, slide on you?
Now this is slick, this putt. You've probably got to hit this to move it 6 feet, I would say, maybe even 5 feet, and it will trickle down to the hole.
Well, he maybe has learned a little bit from Justin Thomas's putt before him. Watch the length of the putting stroke. Tiny. He's asking it to move. It doesn't come from that side. Well, he was the student and now he's going to be the teacher and give Thomas the line on the next one.
So unlike him. He's normally a mustard at reading greens and judging the pace. Well, he took a 5 at the 16th, a double bogey at the 17th in Ricky Fowler, and he's struggling for a par at the 18th, so the Green Mile is taking his toll on his round. Hard to believe that these greens were all relayed in 90 days.
Yes, just extraordinary. And looks like Hideki, did he reach the sand? He has indeed. That's not a bad spot actually, Ken.
No, not a bad spot. I think he's deciding who's going to go first. I think Ricky's going to go, sorry, Jason Day's going to go first. No, change of mind. Oh, that doesn't look so pleasant though, where that's landed. It's going to come out with a little bit of run. Slightly on the downslope. Got to play this a little lower because it will run out.
Just perfect. Beautifully played. One of those awkward, skinny little bunkers. Not really enough room to have a flat spot on the bottom.
Uphill Ricky, right edge, not easy. Oh, he's pulled it slightly. He was out in a very creditable 34 against a par of 35, but back in 39 or 73, finished 5.55. Looking at our computer, Casey also double bogeyed the 18th for a 74. Well, it's like putting up the mountain, then down the other side. A very clear line where you can see the grain is into him. It's dark, and then it's the light, so it's uphill. He's near enough to the green to make it a little easier than Stroud had it. He hasn't got much fringe to come through. But you just nudge it to get up the slope. Before you know it, you've hit it 5 feet by.
Well, he holed a great one on the last. Generally rolls the ball with the putter extremely well. Look where he's aiming, look how much swing he's giving this. Wow, he went a long way right. I almost didn't give it enough to get up that crest.
Yeah, that was very tricky. They're always tricky, those ones. To the 18th. Very well done. Nice round of golf. And a few 69s in the last hour or so. Justin Thomas has had one of them.
Now Louis lost his tee shot way right. This is just a chop out and start again shot.
It's not a bit of design. You have to walk back down the line of play to cross the bridge. You'd have thought the bridge would have been further up in the stream.
There is another bridge further up, actually, but the players are going to the nearest. Kisner. Line and length have been great all day, and he burns the edge on another one. Well, one hole from home, another par, safely tucked away, but he was hoping for better there.
That was very unlucky mooring, because it's... Oh, these are the two on the 16th that both fall shoe out. They're similar, unbelievable, these two. Just watch what they do when they get to the cup. Boom, virtually identical. Stroud and Kisner. Little unlucky with that putt at 17. He's putting across the grain. I would have thought that might have found the cup.
Stroud, second to the final hole. Wants this about 15 feet right of the stick. Good for length. But as we know, a challenging 2-putt left.
Looking down on the 17th green, sun is starting to set. Now you've got to be so careful with this when you've really got to maxi break it and just let it fall in the front, because if you're a tall brave, you'll have a 4-footer coming back. This takes a silky touch with a putter with a cashmere inside. Just watch this, how hard he hits it. Been a day of deep breaths, hasn't it?
Certainly has. He hasn't had a par since the 11th. Now, can Louis get up and down for his par in the final hole? Oh, he's giving himself every opportunity. Launched it high, see the pitch mark there, ball stopped dead. Glorious golf shot by Oosthuizen.
Super up and down for Matsuyama. The ball only just tiptoed over the water.
Well, 35-year-old Canadian Graham DeLatte is playing in his first major since the Open in 2015. He struggled a little yesterday with some back pain and went into today's round 1 over par, but it was fairly unremarkable in the front 9 out in level par. Then a double bogey at 11, but he then hit some sensational form. 6 under through 4 holes. Birdie, eagle, eagle, birdie to come home in 32. 3 under 68 today, and he's right back in the hunt on 2 under par. He spoke after his round to Rishi.
Graham, really well played today overall, but just talk us through that stretch between 13 to 16 today.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those stretches that really doesn't come around very often, maybe once or twice in a career, and I mean, I almost made a 1 on 13. I hit it to about an inch, and then 14 drivable par 4. I hit the pin with a 3-wood. You know, I think I had about 7 or 8 feet up the hill there. Made that for eagle, and then the par 5, 15 hit driver, perfect 3-wood that never left the flag. Had 12, 15 feet kind of thing up the hill. Made that for eagle, and then on 16 hit 2 great shots in there, and actually got a little bit unlucky. Kind of came all the way down the slope and was able to make a 40-footer. And at that point, it was just kind of like one of those things. Like I don't even know what happened, and you know, over the last hour and a half, and I played 4 holes and 6 under in a major championship. So it was pretty cool.
I was just going to ask, what sort of mental state are you in? You know, how people talk about the conscious and the subconscious when you're playing golf. You know, how aware were you of what was going on?
I mean, I was obviously aware that at the time I was kind of inching closer. You know, I got myself back to even par for the day, and then I got a couple under, and then I got 3 under, and then all of a sudden I'm thinking, man, I can, you know, I'm back in this golf tournament a little bit. You never know what the leaders are going to do. Those last 3 holes are difficult, and you know, a special day tomorrow, and you never know.
Thank you very much for talking to some very well played today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
A sensational finish for Graham Delatte. And if you have tuned in for the film The Way, it will follow the conclusion of today's play, which will be in around 20 minutes' time. So The Way to follow today's golf.
Chris Stroud, as the shadows lengthen here at Quail Hollow, gently taps it forward. Oh, it's got to slow down, grab a chair. It's what we've seen with every putt virtually from that side.
Teeing it high. Matsuyama, final tee of the day. Is it going to carry the little stream? I think it is. Yeah, very nice. Nice tee shot.
Kisner. He's been very impressive today.
Just hold up on the left there, folks. Please.
Real street fighter of a player.
Currently leads by 1. This is a tee shot that sort of goads you into hitting it as hard as you possibly can, but the key here is to get it in a nice spot down the fairway. And very few people hit it in the stream. Occasional players drifting down the right towards the bunker. 290 to reach that.
Oh no! There's a reason why that one's going away. You should be actually way right enough, I think.
Oh, don't know. Look where they're looking. There's right at the bottom of a tree, Maureen.
Yeah, it was way right. Well, that's an overprotection against the. He hit about 3 left tee shots in a row in the back 9. You just start to overcompensate a little bit. Nothing worse than when you've got the 2-way miss going.
There's a rainbow shining down on someone, so there's some rain in the area, but fortunately we've missed it. Now come on, Chris, up the slope. Left edge, I don't think it's outside the cup. It's to save his par. Oh. Well, like a lot of others, a couple of strokes going on the final 2 holes. 71, promised a bit more. 6 under in the clubhouse, still in great shape. Well, the golfing gods have been kind to us. No rain. There was some potentially forecast. The blimp just above the leaderboard there, floating around. Been a day for connoisseurs. Haven't seen too many birdies, but players have been battling away bravely.
And here's one who's battled well. Well holed by Oosthuizen. Injured himself, hitting a shot from out by a tree on the 2nd hole and has battled gamely on. Home in 36 blows for a 71 level par today, so he remains at 5 under, still in pursuit of this man. Kevin Kisner at 8 under par.
Well, a pretty good battling 74 from Francesco Molinari. Started double bogey, so he was 4 over after 3. And finishes at 3 over. 2 under par for the week's golf. 73-64 yesterday. 74. was impressed with Louis Oosthuizen today. He had a lot of good shots, and he probably could have scored a bit better than he did.
Yes, he seemed to fly it at the flags a great deal, and sometimes he just got a little downslope and it took it another skip or two on. But he recovered well.
As we look back down the 18th, you can see it's quite a wide fairway with this little stream that runs all the way down the left side and the left of the green. Second shot uphill.
And that portion, sorry Ken, but that portion of the green where the flag is sitting is pitched very steeply into the players. So you really don't want anything coming in there with too much spin.
I mean, the play is long and a little right. If you could hit 20 feet past, 20 feet right, looking very relaxed.
I think the caddy's just done his job there, keeping the player relaxed. He's told him a good joke.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it? 30 out of 30 putts from inside 10 feet during the first 2 rounds.
And I can bet you none of them was straight.
All peering to see where Jason Day's tee shot ended up. And I had a feeling when it came down, they all clustered under the tree, a bit close to a trunk. Well, he's completely stunning, isn't he?
Well, I would have thought so, but they're looking and sizing up as if they're not, which is a little bit worrying. I think he's got to do a Louis Oosthuizen and just start again, or is he considering going up the right-hand lane? Surely not.
We can just see his ball. The right lane looks dangerous, and the left lane looks okay if you're not too brave. This is where the golfer's brain's thinking, right, what are the possibilities here? If I hit a good one out of here and go right or left, the chances are I'm still going to make a 5.
Well, I wouldn't have thought this was the place to take any kind of a gamble. I wouldn't have thought it was necessary.
Well, I think it's because he feels he should have scored better today than he has done. He's made 1 or 2 extra errors. He's won a PGA Championship. He knows what it's like to win a major, but this looks a big gamble.
But he's obviously something very clear in his mind, because he has the crowd and the galleries already moved out of the way, so
well, it looks like he's going to hit it down that sort of cart path line towards the 10s and then try and draw it in and hit it to that sort of position there, which is,
Yep.
he might do it. He's happy with it. Even if he hits it to there, though, the odds are he'll take a 5, because it's so quick going down that slope. Well, it's lying all right, Maureen. I don't know, can he get a follow through? He's just trying. There's a heck of an element of luck involved in this.
Hold, please. If you're Jason. Stop it.
Now look, this doesn't look too clever either. In amongst the shrubs.
well, it seemed to me to be an extraordinary decision. What was there about not doing a Louis Oosthuizen and, you know, chopping it out and starting again?
Certainly seemed to be the percentage player. Kisner doesn't know where it's gone. His second. Oh my goodness, this has got a bit of Captain Cook on it. Don't tell me he's in the Rio Grande. Oh, he's not. Where's it going to go?
Oh. Drama at the very end, and that's a nightmare shot he's got now.
Yeah, that's, he hit a little hook coming out the rough on 60. Another little hook there. Well, he's there for 2, but he's going to have to play his little pitch very safe.
Matsuyama must be wondering what's happened to his two playing companions. Now this is a chance for him to turn the tables if he could stuff one in close here.
Aiming at nothing to stuff this in close. It's about 2 yards by 2 yards. You've got to land it on. Anything coming up short comes back to you.
Oh, that's a great shot. He's got the power, he's got the height. He can land it softly.
I might go back, eh?
Now he hasn't got any options at all.
Yeah, let's go. We gotta have a look. Coach, can we get you to move back? Where's the driving range? British Open, Jason Day.
Well, that was a bizarre decision, I have to say. The chip out sideways, even if it wasn't a very good one, he still ought to have made a 5 from there. Give himself half a chance of a 4 going this way.
So now they look as if they're going to investigate
So we'll drop it there and then hit players here, right?
how far back he can go, keeping that point between him and the hole.
I'd like to see that high camera shot to see if he could go further back at a Jordan Spieth of the 13s.
Exactly.
The trophy there doesn't look too appetising, that's for certain.
Yeah, get ready to go. I'm gonna go in. Need everybody now to go down. We'll come up.
This is going to take a while to see where the possibilities are to drop it. By the way he's looking, 2 clubs lengths doesn't do him any good.
If I drop it here, can I get the relief from this?
So there are a few similarities appearing here to the Jordan Spieth drop at the Open, because he's going to, you have to do it in stages, so he can drop it keeping the point where the ball is between him and the hole. And then if there's interference from a TIO, a temporary immovable obstruction, he then takes relief from that.
You get wobbling from there, right? Drop it there. Cole, you got the
So
ball.
indeed he
You throw the ball.
might, I'm not sure where he'll go from that point, Ken.
Well, he'll be working on it so that he can go where those people are standing, if he can. How's that? Otherwise, you've got to come up the hill here onto the cart path. You can see he's sort of urging, I want to go a little bit further down the slope so I can drop on the other side. But the rules official's there.
So he's taken the penalty drop. The next one's a free drop. And after all of that, he'll be playing his 4th.
He's just going to try and play it. No.
Well, I don't know where you can play that club, actually, to be honest.
Can't go nearer to the hole and where his ball's lying.
Go this way?
Up just a hair now.
Yeah, there.
One thing, Jason, we got to make sure if you do drop it here, you can't touch this on the backside.
Yeah.
That would be a penalty.
Okay.
Make sure you feel comfortable you won't touch it.
Yeah, that's good. Lovely.
To 2 into the scrub, he's dropping here for 3, he's going to be playing 4.
I mean, it can just land in here and go wherever, right?
Yes.
I don't like to say it, but he's very near the Portaloos.
Anywhere.
It's the stuff of nightmares, that. I used to have dreams about trying to play golf in places with furniture, stopping the ball on top of the dining room table. This is just like it.
Place that one.
Place it like right here, yeah?
Yep.
That's good, yeah?
Yep, and make sure you got relief. We're not going to hit that.
Nah.
Good?
Yeah, I'm good.
He's done quite well.
Let's see where he can extricate it to from there. So it looks like he's got a hedge to come over more in. He's sort of back in play. Well, it's a costly error. I mean, he took a gamble, and I'm afraid he didn't get out jail out of free card. And Kevin Kisner's having a lot of waiting time.
Yes, over a shot that I don't think he'll relish. So 4 played for Jason Day.
The on-course has not found it yet. He's having a rummage round. It sits right at the bottom. Mind you, don't stand on it. Very easy to, there, he's got it. That's when the marshal says, I don't think you're going to like the lie. So he's played 4, and I tell you what, he'll do quite well to get down in 3 from here. If he takes another chance, he might take 4.
I can't believe, though, how quickly he played that shot once he dropped the ball, and he's playing this one relatively quickly. Oh, this is a sad way for Jason Day to finish this round of golf.
Well, that must have been a terrible lie, that he couldn't really get the club on it at all, just popped it forward. Now Kisner, he's looking to play left. You can forget the pin. Anywhere on the green for Kisner will be not a bad effort. Hard to tell without seeing the lie, but there may be a slope up there that you can sort of run it in. It might come drifting back a little. And not bad, Maureen.
No, pretty much all he could do from there. He's got to work hard now to get down in 2 more. Only dropped the 1 shot.
Matsuyama's got a chance of a birdie. He's 6 under par. Just can't see how that was a possibility. He can never swing at it. Trying to hit a 50-yard hook. Lucky didn't hurt him. Foot slipped as well. And yet the chip out to the left looked fairly basic to me.
Yes, I don't.
Kisner off the bridge over the River Kwai. Well, this is...
Well, after all this, Hideki could be leading on his own at the end of the day. 6th shot for Jason Day.
Going with a putter, Maureen, which is a bit of an interesting choice. We better get going. I'm going to come back to him. Oh, hurry, hurry. Oh, he stopped, I think.
Well, I think it was David Toms won a tournament here one year, and he had a 6-shot lead when he came to this hole, and he took 8, which did not include any penalty shots at all. Still managed to win by 2.
Now, we've seen a few from here, and they all know it's absolutely like punting down the face of the Eiger. But lots have managed to hit it 5 feet by. And turning left as well. Kisner by 2. Has this to save his par at the last. And when you're putting downhill, if you were with us earlier, Justin Rose was saying how the grain, generally the grain runs with the slope, so it's just that bit faster than you think. Oh, that gives you a great view. Gaddy thinks up there somewhere. See the tilt of the cup, there's quite a slope from right to left as well.
Now, come on, Kevin. You've played so well. 1 more good lag putt. Steady. Well, that's brilliant. That's brilliantly done by Kisner. That was an amazing touch there. Left it below the hole, giving himself the easiest possible next shot.
The sun just tiptoeing over the trees. Been a very pleasant day. Can Matsuyama tickle one down here? And it is a tickle. This is a wandering minstrel.
Yes, we've seen a lot of balls hang out to the left here and not come back. Oh, it was a wandering minstrel, Ken. But it was such a dangerous putt. So he taps that home for a closing par. And that was a round of 73 for Matsuyama. And he remains 6 under. What a struggle, what a battle that was.
It was a real adventure. A few crooked tee shots, 1 or 2 pulled hooked irons, but he's, thank goodness, he says, there to fight another day. Quick as it is one way, it's pretty slow this way, and we diving left as it slows. This for a 7. Looking for the righties, Amy. Sit. Right, this is the quickest he's played all week. Well, that is a mighty shame. Back in 41 for a 77, finishes bogey, quadruple bogey.
All changes in a heartbeat.
Oh, I've been wondering if he'll think, oh, why didn't I chip it out sideways? Kisner for his 5. And did pretty well after finding the bank on the left of the 18th. 7 under for him. Let's have a look at the old scoreboard. 7 under for Kisner. Stroud 6 under. Matsuyama 6 under. It's been quite a day. It's been a long day. We've seen some outstanding golf, and we've seen 1 or 2 players struggle.
Well, we thought the Green Mile might have a say in things this week. It has produced real drama at the close of play today. Kevin Kisner, though, takes a 1-shot lead into the final day over Chris Stroud and Hideki Matsuyama. Jason Day has fallen off that leaderboard. And we will be back tomorrow with all the drama from the final day. We will be on Red Button, the BBC website, and iPlayer from 7 o'clock, and then on BBC 2 from 10 o'clock tomorrow evening. Well, he led after day 1. He leads by 1 going into the final day. Can Kevin Kisner hold his nerve over the final 18 holes to lift the Wanamaker trophy? On the whole, he's looked pretty calm. He's looked pretty comfortable. But there is drama and danger around this Quail Hollow course. What will the final day bring? Join us to find out.